5 years ago, I set out on the most epic adventure of my life, riding a bike to the South Pole. This is my story. Over the last few days of my expedition, it just was so cold and I was just so tired that it was hard to get out and get pictures outside the tent. And so most of the pictures in this week's episode are actually from earlier in the expedition. Yesterday turned out to be pretty bad. The weather the day before was cloud covered, making very low visibility, and I couldn't see to go very well. And so I had a slow, low mileage day the day before. It's now like 1 in the morning, but I woke up and wasn't sleeping, so I thought I'd do my recording. But so yesterday I got going about, I think actually a little bit before midnight, because the sun had come out, and so I got going a little bit before midnight and rode while I could, because I figured take advantage of the sunlight. And my legs were just really tired. My sled was heavy, or at least it felt heavy, and I couldn't figure out what was wrong with them. The sleds had slid so well the day before, and all of a sudden now they're just hard to pull. And so I redistributed the weight a bit to see if that was the difference, and still didn't pull very easily. And then I checked the bottom of the sleds, make sure there was nothing underneath the sleds making them so they were dragging bad. Just couldn't understand what was wrong. And then it occurred to me that the day before I'd had a tailwind, and yesterday was a headwind, and so with the headwind made the big difference. And so yesterday felt like I was climbing all day, even though it was pretty much level. And then it occurred to me that a lot of the drag was coming from the old wheel, the wind hitting the wheel, and I removed the rim strip on it that covers all the holes in the rim, and opened up the holes in the rim, and that let the air through, and made a big difference. But still, it was a hard day. I got a little bit of frostbite on my face. I only got 16 miles, so not what I wanted. Biggest problem was my legs were just really tired, and I couldn't go. And so the day ended with clouds coming in. It got to where there was no visibility, and so I set up camp again. The sun's back out, and it's tempting to go out again because I'm awake. But I know that last time going without enough rest, my legs just weren't there, and so I'm gonna continue to sleep here and hopefully get some strength back in my legs so I can go better. The weather forecast for today is supposed to be cloudy and windy. Hopefully I'll be able to get some good mileage. I'm hoping to if I get probably had to get 18 miles a day. If I did 18 miles a day, I should be able to finish. I should be able to finish by next Saturday, so in a week, and that's my goal. Oh, was it gonna fog up? Dang it. Okay, it is January 13th, Monday. I've just finished my Sunday rest day and ready to go out, start a new week, and see how it goes. It's sunny, a little bit windy, not too bad right now. So hopefully it can turn out to be a good day. Hopefully this is my last week on the expedition. I hope to be able to finish by Saturday, by the end of the day Saturday, so that would be 6 more days, including today. I've got a little frostbite on my face. The it blistered up, and the blister broke last night, and so I've got some band-aids on my face to cover that. It's now 5:30 in the morning, and I'll go till about 8 in the evening, so I've got a good 15 hours, 14 hours that I can go today. It'll take me a while so it'll be about 13-14 hours that I can travel today by the time I get everything put away and tent down and everything. I will be real happy if I can actually get some good mileage today and finish this expedition pretty soon. I'm excited to get home and move on. So hard to. So I'm at 88 degrees and 40 minutes south, and it's 7 o'clock on Tuesday, January 14th. I'm hoping to be able to finish the expedition on Saturday. It's it's going to be tough. The weather is not cooperating. It's been snowing. It never snows a lot, but what snow it gets, it makes everything really soft and makes the biking really hard. So no sunshine today. It's all heavy clouds, and I can't see very well out there, so it's going to be a miserable day. I hate these cloudy days because you can't tell where you're going, and it makes it hard to navigate, hard to stay on the path, and hard to see the bumps in the snow, so hard to ride when you don't know what you're hitting. So I'm not excited about today. I was wanting to get going early, I guess kind of because I expected it to be a bit of a bad day, and so I was thinking I needed to get going early so I could get my mileage in. But I'm just having a hard time convincing myself to get out and get going, so packing up the tent and getting ready to go. Ready for another day out in the cold, pushing and working hard and hoping to get some mileage in. Okay, well, it is Wednesday the 15th, 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm finishing up getting ready to go. I think I did a really dumb thing yesterday. It was really cold. Well, not so much cold, but always cold. But it was no sunshine, so cloudy, and made it impossible to see where I was going. The white snow, everything's just plain white, and then if you don't have any shadows, you can't tell what's up and down. You can't make out anything, and it was actually a little foggy too, so bad that way. And add in the fact that it was snowing, and so now I've got about 8 inches of fresh snow on the ground, which doesn't sound like a lot, but on top of the other snow makes the other snow soft, and that snow soft, and makes my sleds don't pull really well in the soft snow, and so it makes the biking really, really hard. And so a lot of effort just to move forward, and not being able to see where I was going. I gave up yesterday after a couple hours, and only put in a couple hours of riding yesterday, and set up my tent, hoping maybe the sun would come out and I'd get better conditions. And I waited and waited all day and never did. And so then I finally got all my sleeping bag and everything up and set up, and spent the night. So I basically lost all day yesterday. Well, not basically, I did. I lost all day yesterday. I only got 2.5 miles in, and so I wake up and look out, and it's just as bad today as it was yesterday. So I'm going to move forward. I really have no choice. I'm running low on fuel. I'm running low on food, and I'm running low on time. So I've got to get out there and just face the fact that this is Antarctica, and this is what you get in Antarctica, and I got to move forward. And a little worried because I still have 87 miles, which take away all the gear, my sleds, and just give me the bike. And I think at least in decent conditions I could do that in a day, but add in the effort it takes to move the sleds forward, and it's a lot of work to get done, and I figure I only have 5 or 6 days worth of supplies left, and that's a full 5 or 6 days travel with good weather conditions. So I'm a little bit concerned right now. I'm gonna move forward, see what I can do. Hope for the best. I guess I'm not looking forward to getting out and going today. So this is kind of that do or die moment. Just move forward and make it to the end, or fail right at the end, which would be extremely tragic. I just don't know how I could deal with getting to the final degree and then failing to make it. I'm at, I think, 88 degrees and 43 minutes south, and so I'm 17 minutes south of 88. So I'll definitely, 89. So I'll definitely make it to the final degree, but I'd hate to fail at 9/10 of the way there. So I really need to get moving and see what I can do. Okay, it is Wednesday, January 15th. Happy birthday, Myron. I woke up this morning. I started fearing I would end up having ridden more than 600 miles towards the South Pole. Excuse me. And then end up failing with less than 100 miles to go. So I didn't want to get up this morning. It was obviously still cloudy, but I didn't want to fail, and so I knew I had to get going. So I went ahead and got out. The snow was still soft, very hard biking today. It was actually a good day weather-wise. Not a lot of wind. There was wind at times, sometimes no wind at all. But it was pretty cool because the ice crystals in the air were working with the sun to make a double rainbow around the sun. And then there was a halo that kind of went through the sun and around the sky, and it produced a series of sundogs. A pretty good one at the horizon, right below the sun, and one at each of the intersections of those of the halo and the rainbows around the sun. So it was pretty cool looking. I tried to get some pictures of it, but the cameras don't like to. The batteries, I think, is the problem. The batteries don't like to work at the super low temperatures that I have right now. So I'm not able to get as many pictures as I wanted. I took some pictures of it. I don't know how well it'll work out. I'm now at about 64.5 miles, or actually 64.5 minutes from here to the South Pole arc minutes, and so that's a good 4 days of biking, and so I'm hoping I can make it. I kind of wasted a lot of fuel and went through my food and fuel as fast as I could after I got my last resupply to kind of reduce my weight, and I'm now at just enough fuel and food to make it if things go well. So if I have another day like yesterday where I don't make any progress, I'm probably in trouble. So I gotta make sure I'm working hard and making it to the South Pole, or I may end up having to do the last however many miles with no food or water and push as hard as I can. But I think 4 days. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday, and then I'll just take my Sabbath, my rest day on Monday, and that's my current plan. But so far, I make plans, and things happen, and the plans don't work out. So I'm a bit scared that I'm about my food supply and my fuel supply. But all I can do is make sure I bike hard and make as much progress as possible. Can't get a little better quality by manually adjusting some of the settings on the camera. Okay. It's January 16th. I'm done biking for the day. It was a hard day. I think I just stuck with having to deal with cloudy, soft snow the rest of the way. They're saying it's supposed to be whiteout conditions again tomorrow, which is what it was today. I had a really hard time early on. As I was biking, I get so sweaty, and it turned out it just made it so that my goggles fogged up really bad, and I couldn't see. And no matter what I did, I couldn't get any good visibility. And then eventually it got so cloudy that it was really hard to see, and I just got rid of all the goggles and went with goggles. I tried 3 different pairs of goggles and my sunglasses, and and nothing would work, and I just went without anything, which is dangerous because you get snow blind, and then you're in real trouble. So I risked snow blindness today to be able to keep moving, and it seems that when the sun is to the north, so the sun's at my back, it is the worst. It doesn't produce any shadow that I can see forward, and so it makes it really hard to move forward. If I turn around and look to the north, I can see where I've gone. So looking north is works. So in some ways, it might be nice to travel through the night hours, which would be with the sun to the south, which might give me better visibility. But with my scheduled call-in, it kind of makes that not work too well. So I had a couple of weird things today. One, I tried putting everything I could into pockets all over in my coat and stuff to reduce the weight of my sleds by putting it on my body, and that didn't work so well. The sleds seemed to pull just as hard as they did before. It didn't make them pull any better, but it made the coat and everything bulky, and it just didn't work well for me. So I moved it back into the sled, and then when I got into the tent and set up for the night, I have to make a phone call each night and let ALE know where I am, and if I don't make the phone call, then they think something's wrong, and they'll send out a search and rescue and come and get me, which is would be very expensive, and also would put an end to the expedition. And I couldn't find the cameras anywhere, and I was in a major panic, throwing things around, dumping everything out, looking for it, and afraid I'd left them sitting out on the snow when I moved all the stuff out of my pockets back into the sleds. So I was really worried, and then finally I found them sitting in they were just tucked away under a fold in the bag for my sled. So I was really relieved to find that. Looks like hopefully I should. I'm hoping I can keep moving, get enough miles in each day to be able to finish. I'm running low on food and fuel, and so if I don't make it here pretty soon, I'm going to be in trouble that way too. So it coming down to the wire, and I think I can make it, but Antarctica is determined to make this as difficult as possible. So I guess I'll move forward tomorrow and hope for the best.
Okay, it's morning. It is Friday, January 17th. I feel sleepy. I feel like I didn't get enough sleep. I'd like to sleep again. It's 7:47. I really need to get going, and I can't fall asleep anyway. I'm just tired. I know I got a lot to do today. There's no wind. It's kind of hot in the tent right now. I'm trying to get everything as dry as I can before I take off. And mostly I'm just being bad, sitting here wishing I was asleep. I've got 59 miles to go. I'd like to think that's something you could do in a day. That's something I could do in a day without the sleds. But it's probably 3 days, maybe more. So I better get going. Okay, hopefully this is recording decently. I've got 46 miles left to go. 44 point, I can't remember. Just a minute. Okay, start this again. Try this, see if this works. Okay. It's Saturday, January 18th. I've slept in as long as I can. I got to get going. I have it's 46.4 miles left to go. I have 4 meals, and so I don't have enough food to do the remaining distance, but I'm going to do my best. My plan is I'm going to fix one of the meals now and eat that, and then try to go 11.6 miles, set up my tent, take a short nap, fix another meal, go another 11.6 miles, and do that 4 times. And if I can do that, I make it to the South Pole. I'm at this point not confident that that I'm going to make it. I'm quite worried. It's windy, and the wind here makes kind of a crossing pattern in the snow because it blows from the southeast and drifts across one direction, and then it'll blow from the southwest and drifts the other way, and so it is always out of the south, and I haven't gone out and seen which way it's blowing right now, but it's been windy, and so it's going to be a hard 11 miles. I'm not looking forward to this. I don't want to finish at this point. I want to just go home, but everybody's counting on me to make it. I guess I really have no choice but to go on. I sure wish I could quit right now, but I don't think that's an option. So it'd be terrible to quit with 46 miles left to go. But I just don't know if I have it in me anymore. So I better get going. Okay, I've made a couple little items here. These are going to be go over my gloves, so I'll be able to take and keep my hands warm better. I took one inner tube, cut it in half, split it open, and then taped it together, and then I can take and put my glove on, and after I put my glove on, then I can put my hand in there, and I have an extra mitten over the top of everything that is fully windproof. The wind blows and gets through everything. I've tried putting over my gloves to keep them from getting cold inside, and so I'm hoping that this will make it nice and toasty for the rest of the way. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. My plan was to go 11.6 miles rest, go 11.6 miles, rest, and eat at each of those rests, and excuse me, that would, I'm allergic to my sleeping bag. Anyway, that would get me the, use up my final 3 meals and get me to the finish. I'm re-evaluating, I think, what I'm going to do. It's early. I think I'm going to, the wind's actually just started to die out. It's getting pretty calm. So I'm going to try to get going here pretty quick. See if I can't get at least half of the remaining miles today. And then I will have 2 meals, so I could have a meal tonight after I finish riding, and then another meal tomorrow morning, and finish up the expedition. So that's my plan. I sure hope it works. I'm hoping this is my last day, but there may be one more day. I'm hoping to make it. It's about 27 miles the route I'm going to take. I'm going to head west, which is the wrong direction, but I'm going to head west and hope to find the ski tracks and maybe truck tracks if I can. Then that'll make it so I can go a lot faster. I'll be able to find the ski tracks, but so I'm going to go west about 2.8 miles and then back on route to the end. I am completely out of food now. I got a call at 10:30, tell them where I am and the direction I'm headed. So I got to get going, and I either have one more night or I'm done.